Hello, everyone. My name is Pastor Mark Sturmer. I'm with the Church International, and I have a great guest with me today, Clay Schexnayder, who is the Speaker of the House, and he is a good friend and a great legislator, and he has done just tremendous things in the state of Louisiana, always works very hard. Clay, I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Appreciate you inviting me and being able to talk about a lot of situations that's happening across the state, and this is a great opportunity to get the word out about what needs to be done as far as us moving together as a group, as a state.
Amen. You know, one of the things, Clay, that you and I have been talking about, a lot of people are talking about around their kitchen table, is the whole idea of this vaccine mandate. Now, I want to also say that it has not been put on paper yet, if I'm correct. It has just been something that's been communicated from a microphone from the president. And I know we have our Attorney General along with other Attorney Generals of other states that are going to sue immediately towards that. And I want to say this, because a lot of times when we talk about we're against the mandate, people automatically, well, you're anti-vaccine. We're not talking about being anti-vaccine. We're talking about being anti-communism, where this thing is going to be mandated out to everyone. What are your thoughts about that whole mandate and what we can do as people?
Well, and I think if you look at the social media that I have, and I put out a statement a while back, about a week ago, about, the vaccine. I encourage everybody to go and get this vaccine. It's something that you need to look at and really think about as far as how we move forward. Now, do I think it should be mandated? Do I think it should be pushed upon you? No, I don't. I think it's something that you as an individual, or I as an individual, should be able to say, hey, look, I think that this is the right thing for my family to do. This is what I need to do to protect myself, my family, my children, my grandchildren, and you go at it that way. I think the government has overreached on that part of it, and it's something that we need to look at in the future to try to see if we can scale that back.
And, one of the things, Clay, that is not being talked about that we need to talk about is, the vaccine is not the only option. The vaccine is a option. Like you said, each individual needs to weigh their risk and see where they're at. But there's also called the natural immunity, which is proven by scientists to be better than the vaccine. As if you've already had COVID and say someone like me, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I've had COVID. I actually had the variant as well. And the variant was a couple of days and I was over because I had natural immunity. And so for me, there's no reasoning behind why I want to put something foreign in my body if I have a natural immunity. And I think that's a part of a conversation that's not happening where, let's say, I have relatives that are older that felt like the vaccine was the right thing. And I encouraged them in that. And I said, right. But it boils down to that's an individual's right. And there's more what's bothering, I think, most people is this one size fits all. And normally when you do one size fits all, it's not, that's not going to be the right thing to do. I mean, take the flu. Thousands of people every year die from the flu, yet the flu vaccine is not mandated. One of the reasons is because they have treatment. When you catch the flu, you can go in and you can actually have treatment you can get healed and come out of that. And knowing that the vaccine is only a certain percentage anyway.
Right.
It's only, some between on who you talk to, it can be anywhere from 40, 60% effective. And so, but I want to talk, briefly about, and I know you have this is on our Department of Health, where there's an option as well, whether you've been vaccinated or not been vaccinated, there's a way that can help you get healed quicker. And it's proven very effective. It's about 70% effective of keeping people out of the hospital, and that includes someone that hasn't been vaccinated, and that's the monoclonal antibodies clinics that are popping up. I know we've seen Florida and the Florida governor talk about it, but we have these in Louisiana, don't we?
We do. We have a few of them, and I can tell you they're getting more and more popular. More and more people are looking towards an option to go and get done other than the vaccine. And I think this is one of the alternatives to be able to do. I think if you look at how Florida has Florida's went out and approached it in a different way where they could get out there and they advertised it and they put it out there. Our state chose not to do that. The administration has decided not to do it that way. I don't know why. I couldn't get a definite answer from them, but it is out there. It is an option that you need to take a look at, and if it's something that fits what you want to do, definitely go out there and sign up for it and have this treatment done to you.
And it's free, correct?
It is. It is.
And where can the people that are watching this around the state, how can they find out where these are at so they can go? It's free. It's an IV. You basically get an IV, and it's shown to be 70% effective regardless of vaccination, no vaccination, where it keeps you out of the hospital and you get healed a lot quicker. They say within a week you will be over this. So how can they find these places?
So what they can do is go on the website of LDH, Department of Louisiana Department of Health, and you can go on there and look for that antibody location on there. There's a link to it. That link will guide you to a path of where you see different places that have it. And I'll read off a few of them right now that have it. There's a place in Thibodaux that has it, Lake Charles, Leesville, Plank Road, Baton Rouge, Rayne, Alexandria, Monroe, Lafayette, Houma, and Shreveport and DeQuincy. And as you can see, a lot of these places, it's just not the big populated places. It's the rural places as well, which is great.
Because there's a lot of places where people aren't vaccinated.
A lot of places that aren't vaccinated, and this gives them that extra option.
Yeah.
So it's something that, look, I encourage people to go out and do. I encourage people to make a choice. You know, that choice being whether you want the vaccine. I've had the vaccine. I'm perfectly fine with being able to do that, and I should be, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You should be perfectly fine with not wanting to take the vaccine. Yeah. I'm okay with that as well. This is just another option, another tool in the toolbox that we can get out there and we can get people treated.
And the whole thing is we got to stop this divisiveness, this division. It's a spirit of division. If it's not racism where it was a few months ago, now it's the whole thing, vax, not vax. And here we're sitting, we're good friends. We work alongside of one another. He's vaccinated. I'm not vaccinated. And you know what? We respect each other's decision. And we have to do that. We got to quit judging each other and let people make their decision on what they want to do in this area. I know, Clay, and we don't have to get deep into this, but I know even, watching our media, and I'm talking about our local media, Baton Rouge media, and even our government downplay things like ivermectin, which now coming out of India, India gave everyone ivermectin, and they're essentially almost COVID-free using other methods. And I know our Attorney General talked about that. We got to get away from this one-size-fits-all and let our doctors be doctors. Mm-hmm. They can figure out things to help us. And it goes back to that, let you talk to your doctor, and between you and your doctor, y'all make the best decision that y'all can make. I don't know why we're letting scientists and politicians make health decisions for us, because they have no business doing that. And, it's something we need to think about, but especially that we not judge each other, right, and we help each other. And our politicians, and this is for another day, but one of the things is we got to get away from these executive orders. Executive orders bypass the legislators. And we're going to have to, the next election coming up, because our present administration is not going to sign a law that you as legislators, you actually have passed it, where you limit the power of the executive branch. I think it needs to be a part of the conversation for the next governor election, that whoever's running needs to answer that. Would you sign a bill that would limit the power of the executive branch so that it limits the time frame and the scope of what these executive orders could do? I think that needs to be done in our towns, in our cities, in our parishes, and in our state, as well as on a national level. Your thoughts real quick on that. And
I agree with that. I think that's where it has to happen. I think you've seen the legislature this year put up bills and resolutions to try to resolve some of this, and it didn't get through, or it did get through and it didn't get signed. But I think that's something that's a good question for the next governor who's going to be out there, the candidate. Ask that question. Say, would you be willing to give up some of your executive power if you become governor, to be able to work with the legislature to have this conversation before we get into lockdown? That's a huge question that I think needs to be answered. And look, I can tell you it's going to be tough. any of those candidates that's running, that's out there right now, that's a question that needs to be asked.
Good, good. Now, to close us out, I know we have some constitutional amendments that are going to be on the ballot. You want to just hit one for the people so they can understand?
I'll hit one that I carried. It was a constitutional amendment number 1. It's on the ballot. Don't get scared when you see the word tax on there. It's not a tax. It doesn't cost you anything more. It actually helps you in the long run. What it does, it streamlines our tax collection. Right now, and I hear from the locals, and you'll probably hear from the locals after they see this video, they will, well, this will take away our power as locals to be able to collect taxes. It does none of that. It takes away nothing. It doesn't cost any more. Actually, it'll end up costing less. And right now, as a small business owner, and this will touch home, right now, if you deal in multiple parishes, you're paying multiple remittance back. If you deal in 30 parishes, you're paying 30 different remittals back. This streamlines it to one, makes it easier, puts us and the locals on a even playing field. It puts the internet sellers on an equal playing field with us, and it helps our local businesses. So it's huge that we get out and support that amendment. It's going to make our state better. It's going to move us in a better direction to be able to get new companies moving in here that sees our tax system get simplified.
So when is that going to be on the ballot?
That'll be on the ballot November the 13th.
All right, so November the 13th, make a decision on that. Look it up, find out more information. I'm sure they can go to your website.
Contact my office.
Contact your office.
My website, my social media, Clay Schexnayder, Speaker of the House. I'll have all of that on those pages.
All right, well, good. Hey, thank all of you for watching this. And again, let's take a stand for our freedoms, because once you lose that freedom, it's hard to get them back. We need the individual freedom. We're against the vaccine mandate, and we are for the freedom of being able to choose for our own health. And so, look, let's not judge each other. Let's encourage each other, and let's work together. And guess what? We'll have a better state because of it. Thanks a lot for tuning in.